Today I want to talk to you guys about work. And I like my job. I got no problems with it. I go in, I do my job, it's an easy job, so whatever. Get in the car. Hold on. But the one part about my job that makes me like my job the most is the fact that I have this attitude that I don't need the job. I go because I want to. I like the job. I like the people I work with. I like the customers that I work with. The entire, everything is good. And, in my downtime, which I have a lot of downtime, I can do whatever I want. I can run my own business. I have free time to do stuff like that and still get paid, which works out great for me. So I like the job for those reasons. But I like to have the opinion that, if I wanted to quit tomorrow, I could. It's not going to run me bankrupt if I quit my job and just don't go get another job. It would definitely make things harder because, right now I'm making a decent amount of money to the fact that, my life is comfortable. And if I pull, say, $1,200 from that, well, it's no longer really comfortable. It's a little bit harder to do things. I can still pay my bills. I can still do, basic things like food and whatever. But I don't get to go shopping. I don't get to do, Christmas shopping. I don't, whatever, it's an extra $1,200. And I only work 2 days a week. So, can't complain. So, yeah. When I got the job, that was the attitude that I had, that I didn't really need it, but whatever, I'd like to have it, but it's not a huge need, and if I don't get it, it's not the end of the world, and I feel like that contributed into the fact of how I got it. I was so relaxed, and I was so just, I don't really care, that they were like, I guess I seemed really confident, and confidence, I guess, is one thing you could say. I feel like it was more lack of care. If I got the job, great. If not, who cares? So yeah. And I've kind of kept that attitude for years, with the job. Just like, who cares, I don't want to get rid of the job and I don't want to quit the job because it does provide extra income for me to just goof off with, and I enjoy that. Getting other things taken care of that normally otherwise wouldn't have gotten taken care of, stuff like that. And it only takes 2 days out of my week, so it's not that big of a deal. Well, let's get to the point. A couple months ago, our company released a new software. And we used to use a DOS-based system, which is just, text-based, that handled rentals. You send the car out with someone, you bring it in, return it. Every interaction was through this DOS program, and it was DOS. It was black and green. That was it. And it's a very old, outdated system, but it worked. And so you can't complain about something that works. I didn't have a problem with it. I am all about innovation and making things bigger, better, newer. I would have supported moving to a GUI or browser-based system right away. I would have been all about it, just because I like change and I like learning about new things. And if they work as good, why not? No reason not to. Well, they introduced a new system called Greenlight, and Greenlight is a web-based system. It's all web. Ran in Chrome, that handles the entire process, renting the car, returning the car, all that. And when they announced it, I was excited. I wanted to learn about it. I wanted to get hands-on right away. I wanted to see how it worked and learn it. I was all about it. And when they released it, it was a pile of trash. Obviously when you run something over the web, you have to secure it. You can't just put it on the web because anyone can get into it. So they run it behind a VPN. That's a great idea. I like that idea. But instead of, learning how Windows works and writing a VPN for Windows, they put it all on Android tablets. They've basically gotten rid of our computers. The only reason our computer is there now is to check our email, which you can do on the Android tablet. And everything is on the Android tablet now. Now, the problem is the Android tablets have about the computing power of a potato. So they can't really do much. And then you have, when it gets more complicated, it doesn't work. So doing a basic rental, renting a car to someone is pretty basic. You go into the system, you pull up the person's reservation, you attach a car, run their credit card, off they go. Pretty simple. But in the event something goes wrong or you got to do an extra step, it doesn't give any ability to do that. And that's where the DOS program comes in. All of our, the biggest thing that I've faced is where I work, we do private airplanes. And they like to call in and give us their credit card number or email us their credit card number and say, have it out there ready for my plane. And we would do that because the convenience factor, having it ready for them, being convenient for them, people like that, and they like that ability. So, I'm setting my speed here. That's what got us high scores. That's what everyone likes about us, is that we make it so convenient for them. And now with this new system, there is no ability to enter a credit card number manually. There's no ability to do any of that. And the convenience factor went out the door. And now we're going to have to face-to-face with every customer and physically swipe their card so that we can get them in the car, and they're not going to like that. It's going to be trash. There's also no ability to manually enter. So like in the event that our DOS program would go down or our internet would go down or the power would go out, we would manually handwrite contracts, write down their credit card numbers and, the vehicle they took and all this information. And then when the system would come back up, we would go in and manually write the contracts, putting this information back in, charging their card, whatever. There is no ability to do that with the new system. If the new system is down, we don't rent cars. There's no way to rent a car. We cannot manually handwrite a rental and then enter it into the system later. If we give out a car while the system is down, that car goes out on contract with no payment ever. There's no way to undo that. Another big one is, like I said, our convenience factor. So people can go on to the website, create a profile, link their credit card to that profile, and then tell us their profile number. And then when we book the car, it pulls up all their information, their credit card, everything. So it's good to go. In the event that it was a new card added to their profile, it asks you to swipe the card for the first time, which removes the convenience factor. So we could go into the manual system and bypass that and then write the contract with the new card regardless of it having to be swiped. There's no ability to do that in the new system. So yeah, that's just a few of the very many thousands of things that this new system can't do. This new system can write rentals, it can return rentals, and sometimes it can't even do that. And then it's Android based, so it's really limited on what it can actually do, even if they made it able to do that. The power just isn't there. So they tried to lock down our DOS program and make it so that you couldn't use the DOS program to write rentals. And we found that you could just go into manual in the DOS program and boom, you're back in. There's no lockout. So we use that for forever because the new system is just not there. It's not ready for prime time. It isn't any good. And for the things that we need to do in our particular department, we have to have the DOS program. Well, this morning I was notified that they have uninstalled the DOS program from our computers. We no longer have it and no longer have any access to it whatsoever. They want us to switch to the new system entirely now. You're going to have a lot of cars going out without any money. That's all I'm telling you. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and break my neck trying to track down people to get them to come swipe their credit cards. We work on a convenience factor. And if they do what they're supposed to do, they're getting the car. I'm not going to sit here and play this little stupid game. So, kind of goes back to what I was saying, my whole attitude of I don't really care if I have this job or not. Everybody gets a car, and I don't care if you pay for it or not. Because you're going to make the system harder to use, I'm going to make it easier for the customer. I'm not going to let my scores tank because you want to use a new system that doesn't work. My customer service scores have been 100% for years. And that's never been achieved in the history of the company because everyone at the company has always been about sales. Sell, sell, sell. Don't worry about everything else. Just sell. If the customer comes in there and you can sell them something, even if they don't want it, sell it to them because it helps your numbers and it helps us make money. Well, no, my numbers are customer service. My numbers aren't sales. I don't focus on sales. They got nothing to do with me. I focus on customer service, which has been 100%. Give or take. There was 1 month it was like 98%. Not a big deal. I'm not going to let my scores tank because your stupid new system doesn't work. So I may not have a job pretty soon, but I just want to tell you guys how that works, how stupid it is. And, if they'd make the system actually work and give us the ability to, manually enter credit cards, do things that we need to do to continue business daily as we currently already do, then sure, I'd be all about it. It's a great system. It has much potential. Also, get a new developer who knows Windows and can make a VPN for Windows. Our DOS program would use the VPN for Windows. The DOS program would connect to the VPN via DOS and then load our application within DOS. So they don't have that piggyback anymore. They can't use that VPN anymore because none of this new system has anything to do with DOS. So they need to write a new VPN to connect to then work. And they didn't want to do all that, so they put it on Android. Like, how stupid. Our old system, a funny side note, our old system did use a VPN, but it didn't matter where you connected from. It didn't have to be from the company's internet connection. So, our company internet connection had really strict restrictions. You could go to Google and that was it. You couldn't Google anything because it would be blocked. So I learned that I could just bring a hotspot to work and hook that computer into the hotspot, and our DOS program would still work because it's VPNing through the internet. It doesn't matter, what connection it's using, but then my connection has no restrictions. So I can just go straight and Google something. I can go to my website and do whatever I want. So that's mainly what I did when I was at work. I'd bring my own hotspot and just have my own internet. And, when the internet goes out and I'm still writing contracts and everybody's like, how's yours still working? I don't know. So, sorry. I hit the horn. Anyway, it's a pile of junk and I don't like it. And that's kind of where we're at. So it's all good. Not really. It's not good. It's not good at all.